game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in to Bigger Than the Score. Harrison Arns, Pete Ferguson. Just got done talking to DP. A little bit about the NFL coaching carousel before we hop live on the airwaves. You guys are welcome to join in. This is Bigger Than the Score, but if you want to give us your thoughts on any of the new head coaches in the NFL, in particular the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think we know how AD feels. But Pete, how's it going? I'm not going to call it a beautiful Sunday, but it's a slightly better Sunday from the past 2 days we've had here.
Yeah, you know what? I was talking to DP outside, and he said, it's about getting up. And so we're up, and the sun's out, and you got a little glistening off the roads and everything. And so great. It's good to be in the space. So I really appreciate that. Also want to just give a shout out. I know there's been the road workers and the city maintenance, and you have the people with the schools and just area businesses, and you see them out and about, and they don't really get this time off. This is the time that they put in the work. And so if they're listening, a shout out to them, because really do appreciate the opportunity so we can just be safe and nestle up the way we want to.
Yeah, shout out to those guys. I know I'm here late a lot of times, and I'll be leaving past midnight, and those guys are still working on the roads because Mother Nature decides when she's done, the workers don't get to. So shout out to those guys, especially when it's this cold.
Yeah
The guys that work in the cabs, incredibly grateful. Right. And the guys that aren't working in the cabs just yet, that are on the ground crews, that's a tough gig. It tires you out, and you don't know when you get to be over. So hopefully those guys get to enjoy their Sunday since it's not snowing, and they can turn on some NFL football after they watch Bigger Than the Score.
Well, without question, you got a good week. You got the championships, AFC, NFC championships going. And so I know there's been a lot of conversation about that. Saw the fitness fanatics leave. And so I think all of us here in studio, almost everybody at the station, will have a restful Sunday of just watching good games, getting to talk about it, but not a whole lot. I want to say invested, just that personal emotion of that ups and downs or random posts. And so looking for two good games on that. You've had a full weekend of things going on sports wise here in the area. You had gymnastics, Huskers gymnastics yesterday. Emma Spence, who's part of the, I know does some things. I saw her on the broadcast, so I was clicking over as it was over, and I was like, Emma Spence. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I heard that name and seen her and everything. So did a phenomenal job on that. Watched a little bit of that. You had wrestling. Cool part was I saw a clip, and it had asked an Iowa fan to say something nice about Nebraska. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, they talked about the stage.
Yeah, the stage. It was she didn't even really cringe or anything. She just was like, hey.
Again, they broke the attendance record, by the way, so shout out to the wrestling program, and hopefully we can just keep bumping up that number. But yeah, she's not wrong. I'm surprised more schools don't do the elevated stage, because it looks so much better on TV. The viewing, even in the Bob Devaney or any arena, it's so much better to watch it, because you can actually see a lot of the footwork, which, again, if you're in the arena, not always easy to see. On TV, they'll give you angles, but it makes for a way better viewing experience.
Well, and I think that's just cool in general. And you're starting to see the first women's flag football scholarship offered, and Matt Rule went out and did that. And so a lot of things that were really cool. Just in the community as well. I just want to also give a shout out and thanks to 93.7 The Ticket, and you, Harrison, Nick, Sainert, and Jay Foreman, and DP. On Monday, you all came out and supported the 31st annual Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Youth Rally in March. And it was a standing room only event, and the weather and you all just, your presence there was huge. A lot of people made note and just said, that community piece of having a presence, but also being present in the space and taking that in was truly appreciative. Junior Mayor Jameson Hughes, who was here last week, and Dr. Mitchell.
Chris Raff was awfully impressed. I talked to him on Raff's Good Take.
Okay.
He was like, I don't know if my show's starting to go down the toilet here, but Pete Ferguson is having junior mayors on.
Well, Kendall and Mayor Hughes, and every week the scholars bring something unique, but just his poise, his empathy for people, and he was just so excited. The fact that in the first 2 hours you experience a squall, and then he experienced a squall and a runza in the same day. And he
loved them both. He did. The runs I understand, but enjoying the squall is interesting.
The cold weather, man, it was so funny because I think Dr. Mitchell said, it seems like when I come out and every time we go into a building and I come out, it gets colder.
Yeah, that's about right.
She loved the Nebraska hospitality, but she was ready to go ahead and call it a wrap. They had some plane delays, so they ended up having to stay another day. Fortunately, but unfortunately, but safe travels. They were fantastic. The rest of the planning committee. He also got to go to one of the elementary schools and did a master class. Like, Raph was correct. The poise and just what he showed in this space. When he was with a full group of fifth graders, he did an entire fifth grade class, 250 some, their whole team, and just had them mesmerized with singing, with his speeches and everything. And so that was just a testament to them and the rest of the committee. On Thursday, we had our equity cadre, our cadre day. And it was funny because our guest here today got to experience Superintendent John Skredick came in, and they do our monthly town hall with the superintendent, asking various questions on things, from just, calling snow days to policies and procedures, just the things that he likes and favorite meals. And so they pressed him at the end on one question on the snow day. And so it was about, David, I think it was about 1:30. 1:45, decision hadn't been made yet. So the question that was asked was very political, not political. It was very crafted by Xavier, who's been on the show. Right. And then the response was just the same. It was like, well, based on the protocol and the happenings of the barometric pressure. So it was hilarious to see that dialogue.
Some bureaucracy talks. Almost.
I think it was all good. It was truthful because again, he's like, I don't make the decision in isolation, and no district does. And there's a lot of other things that go into it, but it was great to see that. We're going to be doing some cadre story time, and it was just a great day. And then just kind of wind up, we had basketball in the area and other sports, high school Lincoln boys and girls. The boys especially, not to take anything, the girls are doing phenomenal, but the boys, if you see any of the rankings and the play, you've got it's top loaded with Lincoln schools, which it's been a while that's happened. Everything in Lincoln High to Southwest to North Star. You got Northeast creeping in there. Even you got in that Class B ranks, you got Standing Bear kind of in the mix.
Yeah, which is good to see those guys. That how many years is this now?
Standing Bear is, I want to say, is it year two, and man. Then Northwest is in year 3, and so it's really cool to see that. And then Southwest yesterday had a huge speech tournament. Want to give a shout out to the Hot Ones Challenge, Brett Baker, who's a coach out there at Malcolm. They've got a phenomenal team and came in. I know they placed and did really well. And so that was one of the larger ones from my understanding. And so congratulations to, all those extracurriculars, because we oftentimes talk about the athletic components.
Right.
But when you think about the speech, debate, the music, the show choir, we've said it over and over again. Those individuals put in just as much, if not more time to hone that craft, and for less opportunities, less competition than some of these others. And so want to give a shout out to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially, the speech kids, the 1F kids. That's what we talked about for us. The one regret I have, that takes an incredible amount of courage. And or if you just got it and you don't need the courage, you're just really good at it. It's still an incredibly hard thing to master and craft. And anyone starting out with that stuff, it's a tough thing to do. But I need to go check it out more. My brother Houston, he actually loves volunteering to be one of the speech coaches. So I need to get his insight on these Lincoln schools to watch out for. But to your point with basketball, it's been fun. I know Nick Sainert appreciates it. Austin Norman, Tristan Gomez, we've been calling their games. Nick Wyman as well. I think might hop on one. It's a fun thing to have, and we love opening up the doors to any of the coaches. I mean, just come in here and you want to talk about your program. We love to hear it. We like to keep this thing locally kind of community based and occasionally dip into the national pool. But yeah, just a loaded week. I got to ask you, what was your favorite thing over the rally? Because I know that's kind of a loaded week for you. I don't want to say favorite, because that's not right. Moment. But things that stuck out. Yeah.
There was a couple moments, and without question, there were standing ovations and there were tears. And I think both were extremely relevant. I think Harnor, who's been on before, is one of those speech and debate individuals, and had a part that talked about honesty and just being honest. And she has a piece in there where she spoke, and I think she did it on the station. She spoke in Punjabi, and about her mother, and her mother was in the audience. And I had a camera filming her. Her mom had her phone up, and she was filming her. And when she spoke in Punjabi, her mom basically dropped the phone. And her Harnor's brother was sitting by her and patted her on the shoulder. And I'll show you the pictures during break, was so emotional about it. And Harnor caught her mom's eye, and as smooth as her delivery was, it was even more powerful when she was stumbling and choking back tears, seeing her mom. And there was a picture in the Journal Star, thank you for them, that caught it. And it's such high resolution that it shows a tear on Harnor's cheek. So that moment there, and then our 5th grade Belmont scholars, who we've had on many times before, one of the young men, Dom, like, people think he lost his place and just like didn't remember his words. And it wasn't that he didn't remember his words, because I've been around that young man for a year and a half. He knew his words. He knew how he wanted to deliver them. He just was mustering up how to make sure they got delivered the right way. And as he stood there and held the podium, and people were like, "Come, you got it, you got it." Young lady Zainab came up and put her hands on his shoulder. And I think there wasn't a dry eye in the place. I'm getting emotional right now. There wasn't a dry eye in the place. And when we talked about the audacity, being bold and courageous to walk together, that was the example right there, is that these young people at 5 years old can do this, or in 5th grade can do this. Why can't we? And, with all that we have going on personally, emotionally, socially, whatever else, in that room at that moment, with 700 standing room plus people, these individuals were modeling something that I think sometimes we struggle with. So those were moments that stood out to me, as well as what everybody else did.
And then do you have those moments that people can go back and go find them on the MLK website?
Yes, you can. Thank you to Link TV, Bo at City TV. You can go to MLKYouthRally.com, MLKYouthRally.com, and there's a link that they can hit, and it will show the entire rally. Okay, and so they can see everything. So definitely, we'll share more of that, and I appreciate you asking. About made me get emotional again here with and thank you for Wrath of making us the good take and everything. But we have a young man here, David Burrows Jr. And David, when you talk about moments, Harrison, he wasn't in the rally, but I'm going to recruit him definitely for next year. But he embodies, promoting positive youth action. And we talked about, how King's Full Life and Legacy was about a beloved community. And this young man, since I have met him this year, is somebody that I couldn't wait to get to have on this space. And I know he's got his family and everybody listening. And so, David, I'm going to start with this, because one of the things we did, you're part of some of the a group that I'm involved in, but I want to ask you this as a war of a question. We're a little bit older, and I asked you this in the car. If we woke up in the 80s, the first thing you would do, what is the first thing you would do if you woke up in the 80s?
Would probably be check the time and date.
Okay, so check the time and date. Tell us why you would do that.
Because depending on the time and the date, it could be summer, winter, and if it's summer, I'd probably go play outside. But if it's winter, probably go play a board game or something.
Okay. So Harrison, the reason I asked him this, and I know it seemed kind of random, but there was, we did this at a group. We asked people this. What were some of the other responses to that?
One of the responses was from another student in the cadre was go to Blockbuster.
Okay, so Blockbuster. See, now Harrison's a little bit. I think you're right on that verge right there, the Blockbuster timing, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty close to that verge. Right, Redbox was starting to take over a little bit, and then streaming completely took over.
Okay. So go to Blockbuster. What was another one?
I don't know if the student was trying to be silly, but they said go outside and see if it would be black and white.
Okay, so I had to ask that question. Like, what did that scholar mean by that? Now, give me the explanation that you gave me in the car.
He meant like, cause like there was no like color TV.
He said there was no color TV in the 80s. Like this is it was killing me. It's killing me. Was there another one? I think there was one more.
I think the seasoned professional said she would. What did she say?
It was a show, I think it was, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, she said she would watch her favorite childhood show.
Okay.
On Tuesday, because that was when it was showing like colored cartoon.
Yeah. So on Tuesday, watch the favorite show. Well, thank you for sharing that. And so, David, glad, like I said, to have you in the space. Let's start with this. Give us who you are and your purpose.
My name is David. I'm a freshman at Yankee Hill, and my purpose is to bring positivity and joy to my community.
Fantastic. And so you attend Yankee Hill, homeschools Northeast High School. And so you're doing your thing on that. Who makes up your family? And then we'll get back to your purpose. So who's out there listening? Who's out there showcasing their love for you?
My mom, my brother and my sister and my cousin.
Okay.
My Aunt Ashley and my cousin Emmy.
Okay.
They're like showing their support, tuning in, watching right now.
Fantastic. And go ahead and, like I said, give us their names if they're listening so you can, I know like sometimes in our homes, you'd be like, I can't be calling my mom by the first name. She's going to snatch me up and everything. But we're going to give you that permission. So those that are listening be like, that's my baby on the radio. I heard your baby. So
my mom, Clarice, and my brother, Lazarus, and my sister, Lanasia, they're all watching right now. And then my stepdad, Mike, he's also watching. And my cousin Emmy and Tay and my little cousin Sean, they're all out there watching and supporting me.
Awesome. And you showed me some pictures. You got some pets. So give me the pets that you have and the names.
I got a pit bull terrier. Her name is Zoe. I got a Shih Tzu. His name is Cobalt, but we call him Frank.
Okay.
And then I got a pet snake. She's a ball python, and her name is Banana.
So they got a whole up here like
first snake.
Yeah,
I think we've had on the show.
Yeah, and I don't do snakes.
Me neither, but to each their own. You can do it.
You showed me that snake, and I was like, you can go ahead and have that. So you talked about your purpose. Talk about how you're living your purpose, and share your purpose again, and then how are you living it?
My purpose is to bring positivity and joy to my community, and I live my purpose by trying to include people. Like, say some students don't feel included or don't feel like they belong in a space. I try to make them feel welcome or include them in stuff that most people wouldn't.
Love that. And so you said you're attending Yankee Hill right now in Northeast, as you said, your home school. Yankee Hills, the school's missions provide safe, supportive, educational learning environment that encourages scholars to achieve their best, engage in learning, graduate, and become productive citizens. How do you contribute to that each and every day while you're at Yankee Hill and any community that you're a part of?
I think I contribute to that by like just bringing a positive energy into the space instead of like having a negative mindset, and probably just striving to be like a little bit better every single day.
Love that. That 1% better component, I think, is always important and something we can all live by. So I appreciate you giving that advice. Tell us a little bit about your journey. Have you always lived in Lincoln? Have you, come from different places? Where did you go to elementary, middle, and high school?
So I was born and raised in Lincoln. My elementary school, well, I had two. I went to McPhee. Love that school. I went there for 4.5 of my elementary year, and then I switched to Everett for my 5th grade year, and then going into middle school, I went to Goodrich for 6th grade, and then it just wasn't like the most supportive place for me, so I started going to Nürnberger, which is basically an alternative school, kind of like Yankee Hill, where they just give extra support.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I go to Yankee Hill.
Awesome. And so talk about, like, you said you loved McPhee. Is there a teacher at McPhee or an educator, lunchroom education specialist, custodian? Give a shout out to somebody that's at McPhee that's listening right now that may be like, man, that's a grown man right now. I remember him when he was a little baby walking these halls.
Well, I don't remember her name specifically, but I remember I used to call her Mrs. C. Favorite McPhee teacher. She was the best. She was like really supportive, kind, caring, really attentive to all her students, and like just making them feel like they were the world when she was still teaching an entire class.
Why is that so important? And when you said, like, and the way your eyes lit up, Harris and I are sitting here and you're like, I don't remember her name. And that quote, I mean, I've said it over and over again. My angel has that quote. I often forget what people have done, often forget what people have said, but I always remember how people have made me feel. You spoke about how she made you feel. Why is that important for an educator, but also just for people in general to be like a Mrs. C?
It was, I think it's important because, like, even though she was teaching an entire class of like 20 to 30 students, she still made each student individually feel important and like feel like they had a spot in that space and like feel like they were needed in that space in that community. And I think that's like good for people like in general, because if someone shows another person like attentiveness or like a feeling of like need in a space, they'll be more likely to keep coming to that space and keep joining that community and try to be proactive and like do things for that community and reach out for like the accessibilities in that community.
Awesome. You talked about your current school, and I know when we walked in, you saw a jersey up on the wall and you were like, Royals jersey. And he was like, one of my teachers played for the Royals. Yep. So give that teacher a shout out. And then who else would you know, that you're currently engaged with at Yankee Hill, give them a shout out?
Well, at Yankee Hill, I'd like to give a shout out to, well, Riker. He used to play for the Royals and the Blue Jays. Okay. So I'd like to give a shout out to him. And then Mr. Finley, he's been really supportive to me, even like throughout the first and second semester. Like he's always been there for me. The principal's been there for me. And then my homeroom teacher, Mrs. Galinsky, I'd like to give a shout out to her. She's been very supportive, helping me through like my grades and my credits, like for being my first year. And then Mr. Prater, he's like one of the best teachers there, I think, by far. Like he's really supportive. He's outgoing. Like he's just a fun person to be around.
Awesome. As I hear you talk, and you're listening on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson, and we've got guest in-house David Burrows Jr., who's a scholar here in Lincoln, Nebraska, and Harrison on the ones and twos. Just hearing you speak about, and so eloquently, about people who have played a role in your life. We oftentimes talk about relationships will lead and your purpose will lift you. And so when you hear a statement like that, relationships lead, purpose lifts, what do you think about when you hear that?
What I think when I hear relationship lead is like making a connection in one point can help you like in other points in your life. Like an example being like me meeting you at my home school, like led me to this point right now, being on this radio station. And I think like it's just like relationships can bring you a long way than more than just like being there for someone or like just having like a bond with someone.
How does purpose lift somebody?
I think purpose lifts people by giving them like something to achieve or like something to strive to be better at or good at.
Love that. We're going to go to break here in a second. Tell me real quick. I want you to brag on yourself. Like, what brings you joy? I mean, you've talked so much about other people and poured into them. I'm really interested. Like, what brings David a joy and puts a smile on his face?
I think something that brings me joy is like being in the cadre. Like, I like being in that space. Like, the people in it are like really cool and like, I don't know. They're just like fun people to be around, and it's like easy to be in that space and feel welcome.
Wow. So, and I think you bring that to other people in any space you come in, and you've done the same. So with that being said, we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson, BHS LLC, joined on the ones and twos on an AFC NFC Championship Sunday with Harrison. And so we are having a phenomenal, again, another phenomenal guest. I love how Raph says, hey, he said he feels like his is not up to par, but his is really an elevated. So if you get a chance to listen to Raph, he's on every night, I think at the same scheduled time.
Yep, same scheduled time. He's going to be on Monday through Thursday. He's going to be that 9 to 10 o'clock slot. Yeah. And he's just a Husker expert. He knows these lands better than anyone realizes, I think.
Well, and I think that the cool part and the Raph good take, just spreads out positivity and goodness. And so with that being said, David, we talked about Chris Raft. He's a huge Denver Broncos fan. And so he's going to, I want to say, be in heaven today just for the mere fact of making it. But I think he's probably got a little bit, the Bronco fans have a little bit of angst in regards to what's going on. Tell us about the teams that you support. So you shared a little bit. What's your team?
NFL team?
Yeah, let's go with your NFL team to start off.
My favorite NFL team, probably Baltimore Ravens. Wasn't our year this year.
Okay. as he turned away from the mic a little bit, he said the Baltimore Ravens. Was it what makes you a Baltimore Ravens fan?
Well, just a lot. Like growing up, me and my brother, like we would like play college football together and like play Madden together, and I'd always pick Ravens.
Okay.
Just because of like the coaches and just like the team in general. I just like the team. And probably the color purple, like purple.
Okay, I like that. You had the analysis of breaking down. You didn't just go like one player. You go, I like him because of the coaches and the playbook. When I play Madden, like you don't really hear that all the time.
No, being honest about the colorways, which by the way, they do have awesome colorways. Like I'm a big fan of Lamar, or not. Well, I am a big fan of Lamar Jackson, but I'm also a big fan. Ravens do have some of the best jerseys.
Without question. When they came out hard in a lot of ways. So basketball, what's your favorite NBA basketball? We'll start with the NBA side.
Gotta go Lakers.
So how did you feel about that win last night?
It was ecstatic. Like it brought a lot of energy.
Okay. So you go back home to Dallas. They, take him on, and Luka almost goes in the wrong locker room because he's that's his memory, muscle memory is playing into that. All right. So college team, whether it be basketball, baseball, football, what's your college pick?
Well, I don't really I watch college basketball, but I don't know many baseball teams. But my college football team, probably Oregon Ducks.
See, he said that in the card. I said he was going to put that out in the universe here, the Husker Red. But
fine. We got
he stays in the Big Ten. He stays in the Big Ten.
We got a producer named Tristan Gomez, and I'll call him out publicly. He's also an Oregon Ducks fan, and he works here, so it's not complete sacrilege.
Oh, so good stuff. Good getting to know a little bit of your sports background. So tell us a little bit about what are you involved in? You talked a little bit about the cadre, but what are some things, and it doesn't have to be like this year, but what have you been involved in the past? Has there been athletics, extracurricular, service clubs? What are things you've done?
Well, it was in the past, but I just started going back this year. I go to the Lighthouse after school every day, or almost every day. And I think they just give good opportunities and like good just support to students who need it, like an after school curriculum to do, like to fill time.
Good stuff. What's a recommendation for young people? I mean, and I guess I ask you, do you think it's important for young people to be involved in things? And if so, why?
I mean, I think it's good for most, but like if you have the time and like you need like something to do, then I think it'd be positive or like proactive for most students to like do an after school program or like join a club or like do sports, because like just going to school and then going home, like you need more, like you need to put yourself out there more. Like you can get more opportunities by joining after school programs or joining like the cadre or something like that.
So talk a little bit, you talked about your current involvements and things that have brought you joy. You talked about the cadre a little bit. What I've been impressed with, and Harrison, from this young man from day one. So we do have the superintendent come in usually every month, based on schedule. But we have other components and other things that they learn about. As the last time you learned about like literacy in the community. So we had our family literacy program come in, and we had Link to Literacy do some components to libraries. But when the superintendent or leadership comes in, David goes up and introduces himself right away. And we had another cadre member from Yankee Hill who was participating, but they moved away and were unable to participate. And so right away, he was like, I got to get another member in here. And you went up this month right away to the superintendent and introduced and said, we've got 2 more representatives from my school, and I brought them here because we needed to have that representation and voice. Why was that so important to you to have other peers from your school, and then to connect with leadership to make sure that they were aware that you were in the space?
I think it was important to me because Yankee Hill, it's a smaller school, and I think it was important to me to put it out to the leadership because I wanted them to know, like, just because we're a small school, we're still putting our stuff out there and like including ourselves in programs like this, and like just being proactive and trying to get like more students out there and like um, to join the cadre and stuff like that. And I told Greta that because I thought it was like, because for a while, it was just me at the cadre, so I wanted him to know, like, it wasn't like I was striving to get more students from Yankee Hill to join me in the cadre, and, I just wanted him to know I succeeded in what I was trying to do.
What advice do you have for young people? And I don't want to say just young people because adults struggle with this too, that struggle with putting themselves out there and into space, or communities that they're not familiar with. So what's a piece of advice that you would have for other people?
Well, an advice I would give, like, I think that, like, the only thing holding you back from putting yourself out there is your fear, and, the things you don't do, like, determine if you get that opportunity or, like, if you don't get the opportunity. Like, if I didn't, put myself out there the first day I met you and, like, I didn't strive to talk to you that first day when I met you at Yankee Hill,
Yeah.
then I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have had all of these opportunities to do all these great things with you. So I think that, advice I would give is, like, if you don't try to take the opportunity, you won't get the opportunity at all.
Uh, One of the things that you said, take advantage of the opportunity. We talk about don't close the door to opportunities that you don't even know exist yet. But the other thing is saying yes to the ask. And for me, you have continued to say yes to an ask, even when you didn't know what was coming next in regards to that. So I do commend you and want to make sure you get your flowers for that. What is the best piece of advice that you personally have ever received? Now, I oftentimes say this, it's the best piece of advice you've ever received, whether you've taken it or not. Like, I remember my mom giving me some advice and my dad, and now I'm looking at it like, man, I should have taken it at the time, but I didn't, or a coach. So, the best piece of advice that you've ever received.
The best piece of advice I've ever received is probably hold your head high and don't succumb to shame.
Who provided that to you?
It was one of my elementary therapists,
Okay.
and I think it really stuck with me because in elementary, I used to get like, um, not bullied, but like just ignored and like just not included because going to McPhee, it wasn't like primarily like um a colored school. So like I was maybe one of like the 15 colored kids there.
Okay.
So I just felt like disassociated with most of the students in my classes.
Mhm. Say that again. What that piece of advice?
Hold your head high and do not succumb to shame.
Love that. On the other side, sometimes it's a little bit harder. What's the worst piece of advice that you've ever received? And not who gave it to you, but what is the worst piece of advice that you've ever received?
Um, I don't think I've ever received like bad advice, but one of the advices, like an advice I have like been given is like that I didn't really reconcile with is probably um, it wasn't like they said ignore it, but like they said it in a way like, um, so it was on a topic that was like very sensitive, and like sometimes it's hard to ignore the things that are sensitive, and like when someone gives like just an advice where they say ignore it when it's a sensitive topic, it's really hard to do that when like say that like topic means a lot to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think when you're invested in, you care. And I often say when you're living it and people say, just get over it,
Yeah.
move on, and that's that ignoring piece. It is difficult to do because that's your lived experience and that's what you're living at that very moment. What's one truth about life you wish more people understood?
Um, One truth I wish more people understood is just because we look different doesn't mean we are different.
Mm, Like, I think that's powerful when you talked about just kind of how we all present ourselves in the space. And sometimes that can be very different and present opportunities, but also sometimes people look at that as presenting challenges. And so, understanding where those similarities and those bonds meet in order for us to share space. You've had experience with a lot of individuals, whether it be in education, whether it be, as a son, as a friend. I want to, we asked about advice earlier. What's some words of wisdom? Because you've been here spitting knowledge and game in so many ways. What's some words of wisdom that you would have for educators? Many have had the last 3 days off. We've got some across the country that are probably listening. They're going to have a couple more. But what are some words of wisdom that you would have for them as they come back into the space, whether it be Monday or Tuesday?
Some words of wisdom, or it would probably be like be attentive to your students because over like these days we've had off, like you don't know what has happened or what they have like gone through the 2 or 3 days off that they've had due to weather. So just be attentive and like be supporting to your students in your class.
Hey, that's relevant any time of year. What's some words of wisdom you'd have for your peers as they come back into the space, here, in the next week or so?
I mean, probably the same thing. Like you don't know what your teacher has been through, so like through like the weather and like just difficulties in life. So just like be respectful and like understanding, like if your teacher's just having a hard day.
So, we gotta delved into some different things. I want a little bit more of a lighthearted question. What is the first TV show you remember watching as a kid?
Well, I told
and
you.
I said as a kid, like here you are, like how old are you?
14, 15.
15. Like as a kid. What was the first? It's like what was the first TV show you remember watching?
I mean, it was with my brother Lazarus. The first TV that I remember watching is Lego Ninjago.
Lego Ninjago. Okay. What made that one so memorable for you?
I just remember it coming on like at like 3:30 every day after school, and we'd just sit in my grandma's living room, just watching TV, eating cereal or pizza rolls.
Man, you said you got the pizza roll, grandma. I mean, good TV. What's unique? I mean, you talked about your grandma. Like what? Yeah, what's that like? What's that a memory like that you take with you forever?
I just hold my grandma very dear to me because like she went through a hard struggle in COVID, and she hasn't really like bounced back from that, but like she's doing better now. I just hold her really close because like she's literally my everything. Like every single day after school, no fail, she'd pick me up, take me back to her house. I'd do homework with her, and then after my mom gets off of work, I went home to my mom. And it's just like she just played a really big role in my life, and I would like to give a shout out to her.
Yeah.
Grandma Linda, I really love you. She's the best grandma, the only grandma I could ever ask for. Could not imagine another grandma, and I just really hold her dear to me because she's done a lot for me, and she continues to do a lot for me, and I just love her a lot.
Is that Grandma Linda? With that, I can't think of a better way to go to break. So, Grandma Linda, our thoughts, well wishes are with you. You got a phenomenal grandson here in studio on 93.7 The Ticket, bigger than the score. We'll be right back.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Is your furnace ready for the cold winter? Call the pros at Bryant. No matter what make or model, Bryant will perform a thorough heating check, giving you peace of mind, or steps to ensure a warm home throughout the season. Bryant also offers free second opinion heat exchange checks. Before you spend thousands on a new furnace, let Bryant check it free. Anytime you need furnace service or repair, just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson, and joined on the ones and twos as always on every Sunday with Harrison. If you get a chance, come down to the Mill on 1040 O Street. They are serving up some phenomenal drinks as well. The seasonal menu is still there. Even when it's gone, they'll go ahead and hook you up and make it happen.
You only got about an hour, though.
Oh,
yeah. That one.
Okay, that goes at 1.
I don't want Pete telling you guys to come down there.
Come
and
down at
show
2:30, 3
show
o'clock,
up at
and
3.
bang it on the
Like,
door.
Doors are locked, Pete. Thanks a lot.
Don't want the Google reviews to go ahead and be like, oh, I came down and Pete told me to come down
False
here.
advertising. 93.7 The Ticket.
Today or during the course of the week, they have some different hours. David, we got David over here. He sampled. David, what drink did you get?
I got an iced coffee with flavor, caramel.
Caramel. Okay, so you said iced coffee. So when he ordered that, Harrison, I was like, oh, I want to go ahead to seasonal, hot, cocoa or whatever else. He was like iced coffee, and then just like, what flavor? I was like, okay, we'll go ahead and make that happen. But David, you have dropped some nuggets, some gems. Appreciative of you. David is a scholar. Told me 15. And, just turned 15. He's talking about seasoned professional, but he is a scholar at Yankee Hill. And then also he attends his home school is Northeast High School, and Yankee Hill's mission, believe in the potential of each scholar, and the importance of collaboration with families and students as well. Homeschools in order to meet the potential found in each of their scholars. With that being said, you've shared a lot of advice to others, and just, you've shouted out teachers. You left the last segment shouting out your grandma Linda. So if you're listening, Grandma Linda, your baby boy loves you, and we're waiting to come meet you as well. What is a message that you give to yourself? What's a message that you give to yourself right now or to your future self?
One message I give to myself right now is just every day try to wake up and be better by 1%, or strive to be a little bit better, or like a little bit, I wouldn't say smarter, just get better at something, or a little bit better at everything, at least like you said, like get better by 1% every day. That's like probably a message I give to myself right now. And then a future message, just stay positive, because like with all the negativity in the world right now, and like what everyone's going through, it's like really hard not to stay positive. So a message I'd probably give to myself is like stay positive and hold my head high.
Love that. What we finished the sentence, we oftentimes ask people to finish the sentence, love is. And so what love is?
Love is, to me, love is like how strongly you feel about someone, or how strongly like you're attached to someone emotionally. And like I think it's that, but it's also deeper, because like you can love someone emotionally and like be in like a relationship, and then like you can love someone like unconditionally. And I just think there's a lot that goes into love, and like it takes a lot to love someone, and it takes a lot to like be loved by someone.
I like that. Lot to love someone, a lot to be loved by someone. Okay, so as you grab the mic for these last two questions, and I'm gonna have you get closer to that because I want to make sure people hear this. What are your future plans and aspirations? And if people wanted to help you, how could they help you? Whether it's you're looking at attending something, going to school, going to a profession, summer camp. What is something that you have planned for yourself in the future?
Something I have planned for myself in the future is probably like my dream job, like in the future, is probably to be an electrician. And I think people can help me by that, like by making connections throughout like high school, and eventually when I go to college, making those connections in college and high school.
Definitely might have some ends on that for you. Last thing, 30-second huddle. Your motivating message to your team, which is the community of Lincoln. What's your 30-second message, getting them hyped up? You talked about loving and people needing to be loved. Go ahead.
My 30-second message would probably be like, even though like we're all going through something, like even though, like you may be going through something, like so is the next person and the next person. So just be attentive to what you say to people and like how you hold yourself, because like holding yourself to a low standard in the community could mean like someone thinks they're not um like say you're holding yourself low, like to a low standard, then like you're like basically holding everyone else to an even lower standard. So just hold yourself high so you can hold others high as well.
David, I think everything you dropped today was phenomenal. From our first initial meeting to now, I know there's going to be so much more. I'm proud of you. And you've lifted not only myself up, but you lifted those around you. And I look forward to the best is yet to come. So everything you've gotten has been well earned and will continue to be. So with that, I want to thank you, thank your family. And you have joined us on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. We'll see you next week.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains